Okay, here we go. I'm about to do my first ocean pour. I don't know what color this is. I think it's from Eye Candy. It was given to me. There was no labels on it, but I got this one. I have Okinawa Blue from Eye Candy. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit. And then these Let's Resin alcohol inks. These are powders, and these three are inks. I have Sapphire Blue, Cerulean, and then Blue. So blue on the right, the greenish looking one's Cerulean, then just Sapphire Blue, which is really pretty. Okinawa Blue, and then Unknown. So we're going to pour these kind of in the mix. We're going to do like a dirty pour. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. A dirty pour. That's what we can do, Kaden. Alright, I'm going to use this bucket here on the left, and we're going to pour them in there. So Kaden, use this stick here and pour this one into there. And I'll show you how to do it with this one. So scrape this off. And it doesn't matter, we're really not going to mix that. We're just going to pour it into here. And use the stick to scrape the sides to get everything out. And then once it's pretty much gone, then you can leave it out. I'll stick it to the side over here. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing for these other colors. If you look in there, they're not mixing. We're not going to mix them together. We're just stacking them up because we're going to do a dirty pour on this bottom layer and see how it goes. So there you got two different colors in there right now. Alright. Okay, then we're going to grab these next ones. Yeah, just leave that cup right there. Here, take this green one, pour it in there after this one. I scrape it on there, and then I'll scrape it off the stick like that, and that gets every little drip. There we go. Now these alcohol inks, I don't know how they're going to act once we pour them out, mixed with powder pigments. I'm just experimenting right now. Use the edge of the cup to scrape that off the stick. Get all that in there. Like use the stick, grab that, and put it on the stick and pull the stick out. Now pull it out, now dip it straight down. Use the edge of the cup to scrape the stick off. There you go. Now flip the stick over and do it again. And then you'll be done. And we can clean your hands off in a minute. I know, we forgot to put gloves on. Alright, and then we're going to do one more. Let me get this poured in there. I'll get this all dripped in there. And then here we have our cup. I wonder what temperature it is. 91. Okay, so we could wait a little bit. Should I mix it? No, because I think if I need to mix it, once it pours out, then I can just stir it around while it's poured out. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to try to stand this up and get a good look in here, because this is where we're about to pour it at. Let me readjust the camera real quick so I can be hands-free. Alright, are y'all ready for this? It's a dirty pour. Here we go. Look at that. How cool is that? And I'm not going really thick on this bottom layer right here. That's a cool little... I think I might mix it. I'm going to move this over so I can scrape this cup out. Because I'm just doing a real thin layer here. And then the next layer I'll start building it up. I just wanted something real thin coat on the very bottom down here to cover the surface area. And I totally guesstimated on how much I'd need. I did not calculate. And it looks like I came up a little short, which is okay. It's part of taking risks while you're doing epoxy work. Okay, then I can set that to the side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rotate this down to get it covered in all the edges. You'll see that rolling down there. There you go. Hit all the corners. Oh, sorry. I'm not looking at the camera here. There we go. Alright, you're not going to see this just for a second. I'm just trying to get every edge on here. And all I'll do is kind of put it right back there in the center. Yeah, kind of looks cool. It's just different. I do want to mix it around though. So what's crazy is we have alcohol inks and mica powders in here. And I know this is nowhere near your like good looking blue. I think I had too much of the alcohol ink that's called blue that came out looking green. I think that's the one that kind of, oops. I think that's the one that kind of messed me up there. Kaden, you want to mix this around?
Yeah.
You can. Just keep doing this. I'm going to get the heat gun and heat it up so it would roll more smoothly. And then we'll worry about popping bubbles in a minute. Here, get after that. Let me get this heat gun on. I should have went a little thicker with it. All I'm trying to do is heat it back up because it's starting to get gummy. I want it a little more runny still so we can get it mixed in together. This will not be the final color. This is just the base layer. And it definitely will not look like this after this first layer cures. So I mean, this will pop bubbles, but it's also just making the viscosity a little bit thinner so it can manipulate and move around a little bit more. So all these little designs that we're putting in there will not look the same here in a little bit.
Right.
And then it's going to thicken back up. If you need to dump that, I would scrape it on the edge of here if you want to, and then you can put it in this big cup. I like using the heat gun because it puts heat in there, but it doesn't like put too much heat in there like a torch will and cause it to burn. This just kind of like activates it to make it a little bit liquidy again, more like consistency of water. And you also can push the epoxy around. Watch this. You see how I like push it? It does that. You hit this edge up here where I got on the wood. Push all that epoxy back down. And what I'll do is I'll probably do another layer tomorrow before this gets to the 24-hour period of curing. It's still somewhat tacky. That just means that I don't have to sand it down after 24 hours to get a good mechanical bond. While it's still tacky, the next layer will actually stick to it. And what I'm about to show you next is one of my favorite parts of playing with epoxy. This looks a lot more greenish than I was looking for. You know what I might do, just to see what happens, is that sapphire blue was really bright and I like it. So I'm going to take some of that sapphire blue and just put droplets in there of alcohol inks. See if that'll darken it up some. What I need to do, I don't know exactly if this is the proper way of doing this or not. I'm just, like I said, I'm experimenting. I'm going to take that little stick and mix this in. And see what we got here. Maybe puts little strings, because I'm not mixing it in a cup, so it's not going to be 100% incorporated like it would if you're mixing inside of a container. But you'll see the different lines of it. See, sometimes you find happy little accidents when you make mistakes, or trial and error when you're trying something new and just experimenting around. This actually looks pretty dang cool. Oops. Try to get it well incorporated, just so it doesn't see the green separated from the blue, or it kind of looks like it's actually supposed to be one color. But this being thin, as thin as this is, it's going to cure faster because it doesn't have as much volume to get through to start curing. That blue did darken it up some. That's actually pretty cool. I'm going to try to scrape some of this edge off right here. Get some of that incorporated in. Alright, let me see here. I'm going to get this swirled around, and then what I'm going to do is my favorite part. I'm going to spray it with alcohol and then watch that do its magic. Okay, let's put that to the side. Let me spray my hand real quick with this alcohol. That's a lot brighter blue. Before I spray inside there, I'm going to show you the coloration of it. So it's a lot of green right in there, the lighter colors. The color pigments through the phone, like while you're recording, does not look like it does to the naked eye. But we're about to change that. There's the spray, spray, spray. Usually when you do this, you get an exothermic reaction. And it usually rolls, but it might have cooled off too much. Let me heat this back up. It cured too fast, maybe. But again, this is just the base layer. It's not as green as it was. Kind of looks cool though. The alcohol inks looks more translucent than the powder pigments. So it looks more see-through. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just in my zone right now, enjoying this process. I'll get that stuff off the sidewalls down. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be cutting that edge off anyway. Just a sliver when it's all said and done. Just straighten it up. Again, getting the wood epoxy off the top edge of the wood. Not the top edge, but the top layer of the epoxy down. Okay. I still think it needs mixed up a little bit more on this end. I want to drag some of this over. That's actually really cool looking. Okay, then we'll scrape this underneath to get all this back off. I should have wore gloves. I know my hands are gonna be sticky. All right. And then I'm gonna hit it one more time with this. And then you see it start to develop its cellulose patterns with the alcohol, which is looking pretty cool. And what I'm going to do now is hit it with a torch. It may catch on fire. I need a bigger flame than that. Don't do this at home, kids. But what that does is pop all the bubbles and burns off all the alcohol. Well, there you have it. That's this layer. We'll do a couple more layers in the next few days. So be sure to tune back in to see what this turns into. Thanks for watching. And with epoxy fingers, peace.